This week's guitar tip is on the bend technique. I'm just going to talk about a specific bend in a specific spot, and through doing that, we'll learn some tips and tricks. I'm going to be talking about the 8th fret on the G string, and we'll be bending with finger 3. Now, the 8th fret itself, I chose just because it's a little bit higher up the neck, so the strings are going to be looser and it will be easier to bend. But I chose the 3rd finger because you actually do that bend a lot in rock guitar solos. And the reason is, in our typical pentatonic scale shape, that's kind of a sweet spot for doing bends and solos. For example, a lot of riffs in the pentatonic scale use that bend. Just that one right there. So it's a good place to practice your bend. You'll be doing it a lot. So let's just talk about half bends and whole bends first. We're going to find that fret 8, on the G string, and we're going to put your 3rd finger on it. Now before we bend, I'm just going to explain that we're going to do a half bend first. And that means we're going to be making the 8th fret sound like the 9th fret. So here's the half bend sound. I'm going to play the 9th fret. This is what it sounds like. And now I'll make the 8th fret sound like it. There it is. So that was a half bend. Now let's go and make one. On the electric guitar, when you make a bend, a lot of people will bring their thumb higher up over the side of the neck. It makes it easier to squish the string together towards your thumb. When your thumb is on the back, you're essentially pushing the string. Your fingers will flatten out and the string will slip under your finger. But if you just bring your thumb up a bit more, you can get a good grip on the string and you're going to push it towards your thumb. But before we even do that, let's put that 3rd finger on the 8th fret. We're going to put your middle finger right behind it on fret 7, same string, and the index finger on fret 6, same string. We're going to put your thumb up on the side of the neck, not way over, just on the side a bit more. It should be sitting near fret number 7, so this fret right here. And what I'll do then is get a good grip on the string, and I'm going to try to push it up to the roof. Now, a lot of times when you do your first bend, it slips out from under your finger. And that's usually because you're not pressing down on the string. You're pressing on the side of the string and you're trying to push it, and then it just slips out from under your fingers. So when you're using the pad of your finger and the string's sitting right here, you start pushing it, it just starts slipping like that. So what you want to do is get right down on top of the string. You want to push down on it and move it. So not pushing the string. You want to take that string with you. So I put my finger down on fret 8. I use my 3 fingers to help push that string towards my thumb, and I'm just going to move it. One way I like to think of it is imagine there's something on your fret, on the metal fret, that you want to get off there. You're going to try to scrape it off. There's some residue. You're trying to clean it off. So what you do is press down on that string and just try to scrape it along the fret. And that helps you actually think actively about pushing down and taking that string with you. What we're going to do now that we can actually produce a bend is we're going to try to make that 8th fret sound like fret 9. So there's fret 9. I'm going to bend it up just like that. And what I'll do right now is if you have your guitar with you, I'm just going to play fret 9 and you can try to bend up to that note and match it. So I'm just going to play it for a few seconds here. And you would just try to match that note. And if you did, we're going to move on to the whole bend, or the full bend. If not, you can just go back and try that again, or just try it on your own. So now the full bend, what we're going to do is try to aim for fret 10. We're going to try to raise the sound of fret 8 by 2 frets, so it sounds like fret 10. Just like that. And once again, make sure you are pressing down on the string, and you're going to try to drag that string across the fret and move it until you get the right sound. Your thumb can go a little bit over the side. You could still do a bend with your thumb on the back just fine. You'll just notice a lot of guitar players, electric guitar players really, have their finger over the side of the neck when they're doing the bend. And I certainly do that as well, right? So what I'm going to do is just play fret 10, and you could try to bend that note up until it reaches the sound of fret 10. So So you're just bending fret 8 up until you hear this sound. And that would be your full bend. Just like that. Now, that's really all there is to it. There's not much to it, but let's just go over the main points that will help you with your bends. One is that when you're using that third finger, you want to use your second and first finger to help you push that string. Your thumb, its normal positioning is behind the neck, but you can bring it up a little bit higher in this case so that you could try to push those fingers towards your thumb. And when I do that, I also put my index finger on the side of the guitar neck. And I usually don't do that, but I'm actually using it as kind of an anchor point. And so I'm doing a lot of techniques when I do the bend that I don't usually do when I'm playing normally. So when I'm just playing, you'll see when I start bending, my thumb usually comes around the front to help me with those bends. So that helps a lot. So try to get your thumb up over there, press down on that string. And the last point is make sure that you're really moving that string. You're not trying to push the string because then it just slips out from under your fingers. And if your fingers flatten out like that, it's definitely going to happen. You have to keep those fingers curled, keep the pressure down on that string, and take it with you as you move it. And the last point is we have our half bend, which makes the sound of the next higher fret. So 8 would sound like 9. And then a whole bend or a full bend is when you make fret 8 sound like fret 10. Just like that. Well, I hope that helped with your bends. I'll see you next week for more tips.